Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flow Tao Salon, or Tao Zui Shalon. I'm absolutely thrilled you're joining us today for this explainer. Now, over the next 10 minutes or so, we are diving deep into a completely groundbreaking, newly released piece of research. We're unpacking the massive 2026 research report from the highly respected data intelligence institution Endata, or YIN. They just dropped this exhaustive study titled The 2026 AI Comic Drama Industry Market Development Trend Insight. Look, if you've been paying any attention at all to the digital content space, you already know something massive is brewing with AI-generated entertainment. Well, Endata has finally quantified exactly what that looks like. We're going to break down the data, the trends, and the literal billions of dollars shifting right now. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First, we'll hit an AI comic drama overview, then look at the reasons for explosive growth, trace the industry development timeline, break down the 3 commercial monetization models, review a phenomenal hit inventory, and wrap up with the core findings and value.
Section 1. AI Comic Drama Overview. Defining the phenomenon. So, what exactly are we talking about here?
To truly grasp the magnitude of this shift, we kind of need to understand the format itself. An AI comic drama is basically a highly serialized video, usually clocking in at just 1 to 5 minutes per episode. The entire production is driven by AIGC, artificial intelligence-generated content. These dramas take existing comics, super popular web novels, or even entirely original concepts and just bring them to life visually. But here's the absolute game changer, the sheer disruption it causes. By leveraging AI, creators are totally bypassing those traditional, super labor-intensive animation bottlenecks that usually take months, sometimes even years. They are slashing costs to a fraction, accelerating efficiency so much that they can do daily releases and achieving a scale of output that human animators literally cannot match. In essence, it perfectly mirrors that highly addictive, fast-paced live-action short drama model that has already completely rewired how we consume our entertainment.
Moving right along to Section 2, Reasons for Explosive Growth, or as I like to call it, the perfect storm.
You see, the explosion of this industry isn't just some random accident. It's the result of 3 massive independent pillars perfectly aligning all at once. First up, we have an unprecedented availability of IP. Giants like China Literature have opened up their vast libraries. We're talking over 100,000 premium IPs. It's a virtually endless well of high-quality pre-tested stories just waiting for AI models to adapt. Second, user habits are already completely right for this. There's a built-in audience of over 300 million users who have been heavily conditioned by live-action short dramas over the past couple of years. They're already totally used to consuming fast-paced, vertically shot, cliffhanger-driven content while they ride the train to work. And finally, there is massive institutional and governmental support. Powerhouse platforms like Douyin, Tencent, and Bilibili are eagerly pouring insane amounts of funding and algorithmic traffic into this format. Plus, major tech hubs like Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu are actually rolling out government policies to support it. It's unlimited raw material, meeting a super hungry audience, backed by the big platforms.
Section 3, Industry Development Timeline. From concept to outbreak. Let's trace how fast this actually happened.
Watch how quickly this industry went from a niche little experiment to an absolute juggernaut. Back in July 2021, Kuai first proposed the concept, putting out a modest batch of about 150 experimental works. It was just a proof of concept, really. Then by late 2022, we saw these quirky, low-budget sand sculpture-style comic dramas start finding some viral footing on Douyin. But the true, undeniable inflection point, that hit in the 4th quarter of 2024. Viewership completely exploded, shattering right past the 2 billion views mark. And that sudden surge set the stage for 2025, a year literally defined by exponential scaling. In just the first half of 2025, Douyin alone saw an influx of 3,000 new AI comic drama works. That's a staggering 6-fold increase year over year, and that brings us to 2026. Thanks to highly mature AI models, we have officially moved way past the experimental phase and entered the era of rapid, high-quality mass production.
75.7 billion. Just let that number sink in for a moment. According to the Endata report, this represents the cumulative views for AI comic dramas on Douyin in the year 2025 alone. Guys, that is nearly 10 views for every single person on the planet, all concentrated on one platform for one specific medium. On top of that, in the second half of that year, the market sustained a relentless compound growth rate of 24%. I mean, numbers like this completely invalidate any idea that AI-generated video is just a passing trend. This is a dominant,
heavily ingrained form of mainstream entertainment right now.
Section 4. 3 Commercial Monetization Models. Let's talk about turning all those views into actual revenue.
Now, you might be wondering, how does anyone make money here? Well, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. The financial ecosystem relies on 3 distinct, highly optimized models. First is IAA, or in-app advertising. This is your classic free-to-watch model supported entirely by ad revenue, and it heavily dominates short video giants like Douyin and Kuaishou to capture massive scale. Second is IAP, or in-app purchases. This model uses super engaging clips to grab traffic, funneling users directly into native mini-programs where they pay a small fee per episode to unlock the rest of the story. It relies completely on high-conversion cliffhangers. And finally, we have the VIP membership model, which is favored by the traditional long-form platforms like Tencent and IQIAI. Here, creators receive a revenue share based directly on how long paying subscribers spend watching their specific dramas. 3 entirely different paths, but all 3 are proven to generate serious sustainable cash flow.
Section 5. Phenomenal Hit Inventory. Let's look at this data in action with some specific examples.
If we track the 2025 monthly play increments, you can see the explosive growth really starts around June and just skyrockets into December. But look at that massive, unmistakable spike right there in October. That remarkable surge was driven largely by a single show called Zhangjian Platform, which loosely translates to, under the Immortal Execution platform, I shocked the gods. This one piece of content broke completely out of the pack, achieving a mind-blowing 1.01 billion views across platforms in the second half of 2025 alone. It wasn't just a popular show. It was the definitive mega-hit this industry needed to prove that AI-generated animation could hold a massive audience over a long run.
But honestly, the health of this ecosystem isn't just reliant on one giant billion-view outlier. The diversity of these hits proves how wide the market is. Global Weirdness brought in over 320 million views and actually ranked #1 in paid and ad conversions, totally proving the IAP model works. Luck Arena secured over 338 million views, but more importantly, over 70% of its audience was Gen Z. That's the highly coveted trend-setting demographic right there. Then you've got My Antique Husband, pulling in a very solid 178 million views with an audience that was 83% female, a demographic known for incredibly strong purchasing power. These case studies perfectly illustrate that AI comic dramas aren't just a gimmick. They're capturing high-spending users, younger generations, and highly specific niche markets alike. Okay, our final section, Section 6, Core Findings and Value. What does the future market look like? So to wrap up this 10-minute explainer, let's synthesize this entire Endata report into the absolute must-know takeaways. If you are an investor, a creator, or a platform exec, here are the 3 core findings. Number 1, the technology undeniably works at scale. AIGC has fundamentally eliminated those old, heavily manual bottlenecks of animation, giving us infinite scalability. Number 2, the business model is deeply established. Whether it's ads, direct pay-per-view, or VIP revenue sharing, the multi-tiered monetization strategy is fully proven and highly lucrative. And number 3, the IP goldmine is wide open. Massive, historically dormant libraries of web novels and comics now have a viable, low-cost, and extraordinarily high-yield avenue to be brought back to life on screen. This is an entirely new, highly capitalized economy for digital storytelling. And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into the 2026 AI comic drama industry. The sheer speed of this technological and cultural shift is staggering, isn't it? The folks who understand these dynamics right now are definitely the ones who will shape the future of entertainment. With infinite storytelling scalability now right at our fingertips, what dormant world will you bring to life first? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this explainer gave you exactly the focused insights you needed. 同醉沙龙，马刀兴隆。